guys, my name is Torres. I'm going to show you guys how to stretch properly. Now, before I start doing my jiu-jitsu or my wrestling practice, or for any grappling art out there, you have to stretch. And a few techniques you guys can use to stretch your body out while standing up before you hit the mats. I like to hit from head to toes, hit the whole body, a quick little warm-up and stretching terms. So first I like to start off with the head, and from here what I like to do, one hand on the top of the head, and just bring your ear to your shoulder. You just hold it for a few seconds. You're not yanking, you don't want to hurt your neck, you're just warming up, you're stretching. So right from here, switching. Very important to warm up the neck. During jiu-jitsu wrestling, especially wrestling, you use the neck a lot. And there can be a lot of damage caused to the neck if it's not properly warmed up. So again, take a few seconds, hold from side to side, just like that. Continuing on with the head, neck. From here, first we did this one. We warmed that side up now. From here, what I want you to do, two hands to the back of the head, the plum grip like they like to call it in Muay Thai. And from here, you're going to bring your chin into your chest. And then bring it back up. Make sure you give yourself some resistance with your hands. And back down. Once again, you're not smashing your head down, or you're not smashing it back. Very slowly, just warming up. So again, up, down. Hold it for a few seconds. Up, down. Finishing off the head and the neck, we've done side to side and the forward motion. Now we're going to do the backward motion. From here, put your hands together like you're praying underneath the chin, and you're going to push back, hold, and then push back down against your hands here. Again, push back, hold, and push back down, just like this. Always giving yourself some resistance here, okay? Again, I'm going to push it back, hold, back down. One more time. Back, hold it a few seconds, now back down. And that's how we finish warming up the neck from the feet. Now to finish up warming up the neck from the feet, we're going to do circles now. Right from here, I like to tilt my head at an angle, and I start bringing it around. 360s here, just like this. Then you can switch direction, bring it all the way around. Then sometimes what I like to do, stop halfway, 180, and 180 back the other way. 180, 180 back the other way. Then you can do a full 360, then a full 360 back the other way. You can keep your head up in front and just go from shoulder to shoulder. And the same thing when your head's back. Always, my head's it's always tilted at an angle. My head's never straight like this. Never. It's always at an angle. This is a really great warm-up because it uses motion a lot with your neck. In jiu-jitsu and wrestling, always controlling the person's body with your head sometimes. Sometimes you got to place your head on top of their armpit, hold down a leg or something like that. You're always using your head, so it's a great stretch. One of my favorite. Okay guys, we've covered the neck now. Now let's move down the body. Next, let's hit the shoulders, okay? From here, first stretch, simple. I'm sure you guys seen it before. You can bring your arm straight across your body. Your other arm is going to come in above the elbow, lock in, just like this, and you're not torquing your arm and torquing your whole body. You're keeping your body straight, and from here, what you're going to try to do, you're going to try to lock your arm straight against your chest. So I'm here, I come underneath, above the elbow, and I bring it in tight to my body. From here, you're going to feel it. It's going to feel good. It's a good pain. Just like this. Hold it for a few seconds. Then alternate. Once again, I'm bringing it across. My other hand comes above my elbow, just like this. It locks in, and I'm bringing my arm tight against my chest. Hold it for a few seconds. Feel the burn. Alternate. Alternate. Just like that, guys. Next stretch, continuing on with the shoulders. Right from here, bring my arm straight up. Bend it at an angle behind my head. Free hand comes up. This time it's grabbing at the elbow and it's going to push the elbow down. Just like this. And I'm going to turn around for you guys. From here, you're almost trying to reach down to your back. Just like this. From here, you hold for a few seconds. You switch all the way down, as far as you can. And you keep switching. A few seconds, hold it. One more time. Hold it. Till you feel a good burn. And then you're ready to move on. Okay, let's continue on with the shoulders now. From here, bend your arm at a 90-degree angle, just like this. Other hand on the shoulder. And from here, we're going to do small circles to start off, to the front. After a few circles, switch up the direction and bring it to the back. Just like this. Switch arms. To the front, and then to the back. After you cover both arms with small circles, you can make the circles a little larger now. Just like this. And like before, to the front, and then to the back. Once you start feeling a little warmer, you can start going halfway and halfway back. Halfway forward, halfway back. And the same thing with the other arm. Larger circles now, to the front, to the back. Then you can start switching it up, halfway, halfway, for rotation, just like that. Okay guys, we've covered the shoulders. Let's move down to the hips now. From here, what I like to do, two hands, place your hands on your hip. From here, spread your feet about shoulder length. From here, what I'm going to do, 360s. Almost looks like a dance. Right from here, I'm going to lean to one side, and then bring it all the way around at the same angle until I come back up. And then again, the other way. Right from here, popping my hips out all the way. And back the other direction. And you switch. Just like this, guys. Always keeping your hips at an angle. From here, after you've gone 360s, you can switch 180, 180 back the other way. Start switching it up, just like this. At some points, you can hold your hip out and really stretch to the other way. Really hold it out and stretch. Hold it a few seconds here, and then back to circling around, just like this. From here, this plays a great deal in your open guard here. When you're defending people from passing your guard, you're gonna see your hips are moving a lot faster now when you're on the ground, and when you're switching your hips to pass guard or to throw up triangles or anything like that, you're going to see the big difference when you stretch out. One of my personal favorites, actually. Just like that. Let's continue on with the hips. From here, do the hip flexor stretch. From here, you're going to place one foot out, just like this. From here, you're going to bring your knee down, just like this, and you're going to drop your weight down into this hip, downward towards the mats. You never want to lean your knee over your toes because that's causing pressure on your knee, and we don't want that. You can injure your knee like that, actually. So always be aware of where your knee is. If it's leaning over your toes, it's no good. So right from here, my knee's pretty much straight here. We have a good stretch. All my weight is going down this hip. Right from here. If you don't feel it here, you're doing the stretch wrong. So again, you can even use your two hands, place it on your hip, and push it down towards the mat, dropping your weight, just like this. Remember, never leaning your knee over the toes, just like this. Hold it for a few seconds, and then switch. Just like this. My knee is not leaning over the toes, so we have a good stretch so far. Right from here, 2 hands on the hip, and you're going to push your hip down towards the mat. Just like this. Hold it for a few seconds. You should feel the burn there. And once again, this goes back to playing a good guard, good open guard. Give you a lot more movement of the legs, defending guard passing, and guard passing yourself. Switch after a few seconds. Just like this. One more time. After we've done this, our hips are ready to go. Ready to do some jiu-jitsu. Now cover the hips, let's cover the lower back. Simple stretch, I'm sure you guys seen it before, but it's very important. Feet together, right from here. What I like to do, reach down straight to the toes. Hands together over the top like this, like you're about to dive into a pool. From here, you're going to lean over, never bending the knees, because if I'm bending the knees, I'm not stretching out my lower back, I'm just bending my knees. So right from here, legs straight, reaching all the way down, touching my toes, holding it for a few seconds. From here, what I like to do now, after I'm feeling the burn, come all the way to the top and reach up to the sky. And I'm kind of leaning back. I'm not straight up here. I keep continuing on, creating an angle, a backward angle, just like this. You're really going to feel it. It's a great stretch. And then once you feel the burn here for a few seconds, you come back down to the toes, just like this. Hold it for a few seconds, and then you're coming back up. Just like this, continuing back beyond the 180-degree angle, and then back down to the toes. Hold it for a few seconds, and back up. Finishing up the lower back. From here, what I'm going to do is spread my feet apart, shoulder width. From here, my hands by the side, just like this. From here, I'm going to just twist the upper body. Twist at the lower back. The legs stay in place. They don't move with me. You stay right here, holding my hands out, and I'm just twisting from side to side. Now, you don't want to violently swing and overturn. You're going to hurt your lower back like that. Right from here, just nice and slow. Once you start getting a little warmer, you can speed it up a little bit. It's a great motion too. You know, when you're playing half guard, you got to defend the guy from clamping you down, or you're going for a Kimura sweep, chest on chest sweep. Great motion here. Just like that. Okay guys, let's cover the knees now. Let's continue moving down the body. Let's stretch our knees, very important. From here, what I like to do, kind of hunch down a little bit and bend your knees, just like this. Almost like you're sitting in a chair, but not all the way. From here, 2 hands on your knees, and from here what I'm going to do, I'm going to start moving them at a 360-degree angle, just like this, circling them around. From here, switch direction, move the other way, just like this. Okay? And once you start getting a little warmer, you can go half one way, half the other way, 180, 180, 180, 180. Now, you can do it individually now. From here, you can spread them up a little more apart from here, 2 hands on the knees, and right from here, move them in, just like this. Move them out, just like this. And then once you start getting a little warmer, you can move them one direction. Move this one out, move this one in, out, in, switch it up, just like this. Okay guys, now that we've covered most of the bigger joints, if you want to call it, from the feet, let's go over the smaller ones now. the wrist. Very important. You got a lot of sneaky guys out there in jiu-jitsu competitions who are hunting for wrist locks. So you want to warm up those wrists, okay? Right before your tournaments or even training. So really simple, right from here, what you want to do, just rotate your wrist. Both of them at the same time, 360 angle degrees right here. Switch it going the other way. Once you get a little warmer, halfway the other way, just like this. Once you hit these, I like to move on to one hand, grabbing the other hand's fingers, and just holding back just like this. Stretching them back. You don't want to rip, you don't want to hurt your fingers or your wrists. So right from here, just gently bring them back. Then switch hands. Gently bring them back. Just keep switching back and forth. From here, what I like to do next, it's almost like wrist locking yourself. Right from here, hand goes over the other one, just pushing it down, just like this, while pushing back into the hand. Like, once again, you don't want to smash your own wrist, you don't want to break it. Right from here, just gently. Switch. 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 That's a quick little warm-up for your wrists. Moving on with the wrist, a little more technical stuff. Right from here, creating a different angle. Reach your hand straight out, and you're going to take your thumb, which is pointing up to the sky, and you're going to point it down to the ground, just like this. From here, your other hand's going to come over the top like an e-brake in a car. Just like this. You're going to get a good grip. Don't grip too high up in the fingers. You don't want to hurt your fingers. Grip right around here. Grip, and you're going to just bring it in towards you, just like this. Once you start getting that stretch down, starts feeling good, start bending your elbow and bringing it in a little closer, just like this. Then you can switch hands. So remember, thumb's pointing up, point it down, other hand comes up, bend, start bringing your fingers, your hand, towards your body. And from here, start bringing your elbow in, so creating a bigger angle in your wrist, just different angles to hit, just like that. Okay guys, now that we've covered the wrist, let's move down to the ankles. Very important. You got a lot of ankle lock hunters out there, a lot of leg lock guys. So you always got to be ready for that. In wrestling, you're always shooting off or landing on your ankles pretty hard, so you always want to stretch them out before your wrestling match, jiu-jitsu match, whatever it is, or even training. So from here, what I like to do, simple, lift the foot off the ground just a little bit, keeping the toes on the mat. And right from here, you're going to start rotating it around, just like this. Rotating it in one direction, then the other direction, just like this. You can switch, heel off the ground, toes still stay on the mat. Right from here, bring it all the way around, stretching out the ankle. Switch to the other direction, just like this. Once you cover that, another one I like to do, place your toes on the mat this time and just lean. Put a little bit of weight on it. Don't smash down your toes. You're gonna hurt your toes if you do that. It's just a little bit of weight, just like this. Switch the angle, just like this. Then you can switch, just like that. Hear that good crack? Again, just like this. Hold it for a few seconds. Once you've hit that, let's hit the side motion, just like that, and just hold it. Again, putting a little bit of weight on it, not too much. Again, you don't want to hurt your ankle. Switch feet. Once you've got that down, you can start going from side to side. Here, then here. And same thing on the other foot. And one more thing for the ankles, what I like to do, I'll switch the ankles so you guys can see a little better. Right from here, reach up, grab your own toes, and just pull up, just like this. It's almost like you're ankle locking yourself, but you're not ripping it like someone else would in a tournament. So right from here, just gripping towards the end of the toes and just pulling up. And then switch, hold it for a few seconds. Just like that. We've now completed stretching from the feet. We can now hit the mats. Okay guys, now we've completed our stretching from the feet. Now let's move down and stretch specifically each part on the mats now. So we first start off with the neck. So let's continue on with that. A few stretches we can do while using the mat. The first one, you're going to go flat on your back. Just like this. From here, without using any hands, you're going to place your head on the mat. We're going to do a bridge. Right from here, using your feet to help you get up. Again, without using your hands or elbows or anything like that. I like to put my whole arm, cross your arms on your chest, just like this, so just to make sure you're not cheating. You're getting your full neck stretch here. Right from here, you're going to lift, just like this. And you're going to hold for a few seconds. Then you come back down. You're going back up for a few seconds. Then back down. Then back up. And then once you start getting a little warmer, you can start going back and forth a little quicker. Just like this. Now continue on with the neck. Same thing. This time going straight, instead of going straight up and down with the neck bridge, we're going to create an angle. So right from here, just like before, you're going to come up. Now, to help you, you can undo your arms, and you're going to go at an angle now. See how I'm turning my head towards an angle? I'm really stretching out every part of the neck here. Just like this. And like before, you're going to hold it for a few seconds, and then come back down. And then go back up, and come out. Come back down, and then back out. Hold for a few seconds, and then once you get a little warmer, you can do a little faster. Just like that. Now continuing on with the neck, from here, we're going to do front neck bridges. Right from here, what you're going to do, you're going to place your head on the mat. Just like this. Hands behind your back, like you just got arrested. From here, go up to your toes, and you're going to pop up. Just like this. Now from here, you're going to hold this for a few seconds, get a little warm, feel the pressure. Now from here, what I'm going to start doing neck bridges. From here, I'm going to roll my head to the front. Just like this, bringing my chin into my chest. Feels great. Once you got a little warmer, you can start doing it a little faster. Just like this. Now, after a while, you can start going around in circles. So guys, the last stretch I like to do to warm up the neck using the mat, 2 hands on the mat. Placing your head in between the hands, just like this, the top of my head. I'm not using my forehead, top of my head. Right from here, I'm going to pop up and just hold myself here. Now I'm using my hands to keep myself up, but all my weight is really on my neck. Hold this for a few seconds. Come out. Moving on to the shoulders now. / chest. Now from here, what I like to do, scorpions. But from here, I'm going to lay flat on my stomach. Hands out, palm down. From here, I'm going to choose a side. I'm going to choose to go to my left side. So my right leg, I'm going to curl it up like a scorpion. And I'm going to try to place my right heel as close as possible to my left hand while keeping my shoulders as pinned down to the mat as possible. So, here it goes. You're going to really feel this in the shoulder and some of your chest. Hold it for a few seconds. Now, obviously it gets a little easier if I push myself up. That's why I want you to keep this shoulder as pinned down to the mat as possible. Again, then you switch to the other side. Hold it for a few seconds. And then switch. Switch one more time. And you guys notice I turn my head every time I do the stretch. I'm not keeping my head flat against the mat. Make it a little easier for yourself. So again, as I switch, my head turns with the stretch as well. Okay guys, moving on to the shoulders. Continue on with the shoulders. Same thing, similar to the scorpions, but this time we're going to stay on our knees. It's just like this. I'm going to put my hands out. And I'm going to choose the shoulder. Okay? And you're going to bring the weight to that angle. So if you watch me, I'm going to start stretching out like this. I'm going to turn my hand, palm up as I do the stretch. Just like this. And I drive my weight into the shoulder. And then I come up after holding it for a few seconds. And then I switch to the other shoulder. And I bring my hand, palm up while I'm doing the stretch. And then switches. And back to the other shoulder. And just drop it and dropping some weight into it. Always at an angle. I'm not straight up like this. I'm always coming at an angle. And then switching again. Switching again. And I'm driving my weight into it. I come up somewhat off my knees here. Driving my weight. Switch angles so you guys can see. Driving my weight. I switch. Driving my weight. Our shoulders should be warm now. Now moving down to the hips. From here, a great stretch I love to do for the hips, the S stretch, which I like to call it. From here, I'm going to curl one leg out in front of me, and the other leg, I'm going to curl it back behind me. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see. Just make sure you check this leg out first. It's curled in front of me, and it's forming like an S, like a backwards S. Just like this, I like to also curl my foot. A lot of people like to leave the foot like this, so you get more of a stretch when you put your toes down to the mat. I'm going to turn back around. I'm going to start stretching. So now that I've got my S, what I like to do here, I like to lean forward. You can cup your knee here, cup your toes to help you bring yourself down and hold yourself down. From here, I'm leaning here, and I'm holding it for a few seconds. I like to try to lean over my knee. If I'm just coming down here, I'm not really stretching. I really want to lean over my knee, really stretching the hip here. And this is great. This is a great stretch because you use this motion a lot in jiu-jitsu. You know, here someone, you're trying to sweep someone here. You're here using your hips, stretching the hips. You want to be flexible within the hips. So this is a great stretch for that. Right from here. Leaning. If you look at Torres, some of his guard is done from the S stretch here. He's always here like this. It makes it a little harder past the guard here. Then after leaning forward for a few seconds, I like to lean back now. Right from here, you can get your hands, push yourself back. That's back as possible as you can go, as far back as possible. You're really going to feel it. And then come back up. Hold it for a few seconds. And you guys notice I like to rock. You know, trying to bring myself a little lower each time. Just like this. And then back again. And that covers our S stretch. Another great stretch I like to use for the hips, 4-point base. Right from here, feet out, hands on the mat. Lift your hips off the mat, and right from here, I'm going to go around a circle here. Just like this, moving the hips around. Great for jiu-jitsu. When you're on your back defending the guy from passing your guard, you're here, moving the hips all the way around. Moving the hips all the way around. Just like this. Bring it around. You can go around one way, 360, then back the other way around 360. Then once you get a little more comfortable, a little more warmer in your hips, go one way, then back the other way. A little faster, hip points, different angles. Just like that. Now continue on with the hips. From here, what I like to do, great stretch. You're going to sit on your butt, you're going to lean back, and right from here, you're going to hold your knees tight to your chest. You're going to start off using that. I like to wrap them up tight and just bring your knees tight into your chest. Hold that for a few seconds. And once you feel comfortable with this, we're going to move on. From here, what I like to do now, I like to place one leg in front of the other knee, just like this. Now, it's really important. A lot of people just grab the ankle and just rip. You're going to hurt your own knee. So what I like to do, I like to wrap around the outside of the knee, just like this, and use that to bring myself in, okay? From here, you can use your other leg for added pressure, and just bring that into your chest. This is going to help you with triangles, omoplatas, especially omoplatas, and gogoplatas too. Then you switch. Just hold it in. Hold it for a few seconds. And switch. Just like that. A great other way to work out the hips and stretch them out, the egg beaters. Right from here, laying flat on your back, legs spread apart, you're going to start circling your legs, just like this. Make sure you're just not circling the legs, just like this, because then you're not really moving out and stretching out the hips. Right from here, if you guys see, my hips are moving out side to side. Then you can switch direction. My hips are working here. Here, if someone's going to try to pass my guard, they're not going to pass it. My hips are always moving. Defending. And this egg beater stretch here, really shows that. Okay guys, the next stretch I'm going to show you is for the lower back, and it's a great position for jiu-jitsu to stretch because it's common. From here, what I like to do, turn it around, create an angle so you guys can see a little better. From here, what we do, I'm going to bring my feet back over my head. And this happens a lot in jiu-jitsu. You know, you got a guy stack passing you, he's trying to stack you, or you got an arm lock on him and he's stacking you. You got a triangle on him, he's stacking you, or he's just doing a stack pass on you. Right from here. Now, once you get here, you want to get comfortable. You don't want someone to put you here and you start panicking, because you know you have great pressure on your lower back. So from here, you start stretching it out, and it becomes easier for you. You become more comfortable here, just like this. You might get so comfortable you might start playing inverted guard here. You know, like this. You might get flexible enough and comfortable enough, and then when someone stacks you, no problem here. You feel comfortable here. You're not panicking to get out. From here, what you can do, you can use your hands to hold your ankles down, hold it down a little bit more, just like this. Once you've become comfortable with that, you can start going from side to side. Here, going over one shoulder, tapping, and I'm holding here. Really, really dropping the weight down. Come back, and then go to the other angle. Just like this. Then back to the other side. A great drill I like to do off this stretch. Once you come up one side, I want you to come out. And once you come out, protect everything. Turtle tight. Elbows in, knees in, everything's tight. Protecting the opponent from spinning around and trying to take your back. Because if he's trying to stack you and he forces you to roll out just like this, you're getting a good habit of protecting all your hooks. Right from here. So if he does spin around to your back, or she tries to get your hooks in, they're not getting anything in. You're protecting everything. And then right from here, you can roll back into it. Then roll back out. Keep everything tight. You can roll back into it. Over the shoulder. Keep everything tight. Making sure your toes touch the mat. You can hit side to side. You can walk. And then roll back out. Protect everything. Roll back into it. Constantly, always staying tight. Always staying super tight. As tight as possible. Just like that. From here, another great stretch for the lower back. One of my favorite. I like to call it the swan. Right from here, hands out, feet back. Almost like you're laying down flat. From here, what you're going to do, you're going to bring your hands down by your chest and you're going to lift up, keeping your legs on the mat. And you're going to look up to the sky. Just your upper body here. Really going to feel this one on your lower back. From here, I'm going to switch so you guys can see it. Just like this, guys. Hold it for a few seconds. Now, once you start feeling more comfortable with this stretch, you can start stretching your hips out back now. So from here, once you hold this for a few seconds, you can push your hips back, coming up to your knees, and really using your hands, pushing your hips back out. Holding that for a few seconds, and then coming back in. I can't stress how important it is to have a strong lower back and one that's warmed up before you roll or train or wrestle, because you know, in a wrestling match, you go for a takedown, the guy sprawls, it's all lower back there. You gotta be able to look up and finish the takedown. You know, you're going for a sitting sweep, you're using some of your lower back here as well as your hips. Here you gotta be able to look up, sweep. You know, it's very important to have a strong lower back and one that's stretched out properly, alright? So use these stretches. So once again, here, after holding that for a few seconds, push it back. Continuing on with the lower back. For me, what I like to do, hands sitting on your butt, hands by your butt. From here, lift the butt up, knees together. Right from here, just bring the knees side to side. Actually, I'm sorry, for this one, keep your butt on the mat. Knees side to side all the way as far as possible. Just like this, just back and forth. Continue on with the lower back from the same position here. Sitting on your butt, you're going to straighten out one leg, bring the other one over. Really simple sweep. I'm sure you, stretch. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it before. But for me, what I like to do, arm over, like you're going to lock someone up in a guillotine, and look all the way to your side. Switch. Right from here, right over. You're trying to lock someone up in a guillotine, and you look all the way to that side. Hold it for a few seconds, and switch. Switch. Just like that. Another great stretch for the hip / growing quad thigh area is this one right here. Right from here, sitting on my butt, sitting on my feet. Just like this. Right from here, I'm going to spread my knees apart. You're going to start feeling it right around here right away. From here, I'm going to pick a side, reach over, and just look all the way towards that side. And switch. And then switch. Hold it for a few seconds. Switch back. Just like that.